the España on her combat debut. We are also building a few of these wonderfully cursed heavy cruisers, the Masdaca, also known as the Mordaca. In typical French fashion, it looked like that had a variety of interesting and unique secondary guns. Don't let looks deceive you, that actually looks vaguely potent. So we are going to be building the flagship, but not quite yet. I'm waiting for one more piece of tech to unlock in a couple of months. Oh no, why is that main... did we stuff up the design and that forward turret can't rotate? Well, we're giving our Extremadura crew some excellent target practice today with these little dinky torpedo boats, because if you can hit a torpedo boat at moderate range... Ooh, it was not a dud. Dead center amidships. Oh, two major flooding hits, and that is definitely going to send the Heinrich down to... Oh, for God's sake, and we're at war with China as well. Battleships are opening up with their big guns on the torpedo boat, which they shouldn't be. I want them to target the French battleship. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. And welcome back to what is the final 13 months of my tenure as the first T-Lord of the Spanish Navy. And what a tenure it has been. We began being at war with the Austro-Hungarians, we kicked their butts. We then went to war with China, and we kicked the butt of their fleet, although we did lose one of the Pacific squadrons in the process. And then we had a 33-month-long war with the United States, where we did all sorts of unspeakable things to their reserve fleets. They had a habit of fielding some very outdated designs, and then in the ensuing peace, we nearly went bankrupt. And then France declared war on us. And now we're not bankrupt. And then, seeing that we were outnumbered by the French, the Austro-Hungarians decided, hey, we want revenge for Spain beating us in the early 1900s, so we're going to declare war on you as well. So now the Spanish Navy, with a grand fleet total of 51 ships, 9 battleships, 7 armored cruisers, 17 light cruisers, and 18 destroyers, is against the 91 ships of the Austro-Hungarian fleet, which admittedly 41 are torpedo boats, and the 84 ships of the French fleet, of which 24 are battleships, 9 are heavy cruisers, and 15 are light cruisers. Now, some of these fleets are old. Now, both these nations have been on a bit of a scrapping run recently, but some are still fielding pre-Dreadnought designs, so hopefully we get a bit lucky in some of these opening conflicts, and we can get some early, fairly easy wins against some of their older designs. If we come head-to-head with Dreadnought-class battleships straight away, this could get a bit dicey, because we really can't afford to lose many ships, because A, we don't have many to begin with, B, our building capacity is nowhere near the same as what France is. We can probably match Austro-Hungary ship for ship in terms of building, but not France. And C, we have finances to consider, because when you go to war, you get a huge financial boost. But honestly, our financial boost wasn't that big because we were hemorrhaging money before war was declared, and our economy hadn't fully recovered before then. So now we were at war, and I'm on the wrong page, and our annual economic growth is actually shrinking. The only thing that's keeping the Navy budget going is, because we're essentially milking money off the GDP, but our economy is actually shrinking with each year. And we now need to spend even more of that money to expand our shipyard size, because our shipyard size is only 25,000 tons, and we need to make that a bit bigger, and that's obviously going to improve our shipbuilding capacity as well. So we're going to increase it by whatever we can do in a year, which is 5,800 tons. And that's immediately put us in the negative financially already, so I'm glad we didn't go for any more than that as it was. Now, as a quick recap, last time we scrapped our old pre-Dreadnought fleet, more or less, and now our battleship fleets is nothing but Dreadnoughts, or what I would like to call baby Dreadnoughts. The baby Dreadnoughts are the Fleet of Oceans class, which is essentially a Dreadnought made out of a pre-Dreadnought hull. And then we have the Invincible class, which is a small Dreadnought hull fielding 12 10-inch guns. And they've proven very good at taking out cruisers, but I'm interested to see how they're going to do in the full line of battle against other battleships. We also have our first Dreadnought class, the España class, which is a class of 3. And we also have our second class of Dreadnoughts, which is the Reina Victoria Eugenia, which is also a class of 3. But unlike the Españas, which mount four twin 12-inch guns, these ones mount 4 twin 13.5-inch guns, so they are considerably more punchy. We are also building a few of these wonderfully cursed heavy cruisers, the Masdaka, also known as the Mordaka, because we needed to build cruisers on something of a budget, but we needed a lot of firepower. So this is essentially the firepower of 2 heavy cruisers crammed into the hull of 1. So we're going to see how they perform once they finally get off the stocks and into the ocean. But that won't be in my tenure. Those won't be ready for sea until Brother Munro takes over in 1910. Now, you're probably wondering why I haven't built my flagship yet, seeing as we spent a lot of this campaign using Fleet of Ocean's flagship, and that is because I wanted to build my flagship as late as possible with as much tech as possible, so it could be of the most use to the next admiral that comes in, sort of passing the torch. So I would build the best battleship I could possibly design, not for myself, but for the person that is inheriting my navy, my wars, and my problems. So we are going to be building the flagship, but not quite yet. I'm waiting for one more piece of tech to unlock in a couple of months, and then we're going to be building our penultimate dreadnought design for our tenure. But right now, we have some battles to deal with. And this first one is going to be the combat debut of the España class and the battleship España herself, the lead ship. She is slightly overweight, but in general, she doesn't have too many defects, and we also have one of the Guantanamo destroyers backing her up. Now, I believe this is the refitted one, which should have slightly improved torpedoes and better torpedo range. We have got a French destroyer, the Poignard, the light cruiser, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce so that I don't offend people of a European inclination, but it is a light cruiser fielding 6.6-inch guns. And then we have the battleship Lille. Now, I haven't done much with French battleships, but the fact that it's got 3 twin 12.5-inch guns makes me think it is a pre-dreadnought. A very heavy pre-dreadnought, seeing as it weighs 19,000 tons. But we will see. Let's get into the fight and figure out what the battleship Lille is and how easily we can sink her. Oh, and we have spotted the enemy fleet, and we have spotted what is definitely a French pre-dreadnought, but don't let looks deceive you. That actually looks vaguely potent. In typical French... Oh, no, they've activated their cloaking device. Never mind. In typical French fashion, it looked like that had a variety of interesting and unique secondary guns. This is their light cruiser with semi-modern looking smokestacks, a very tumble-home hull, and what appears to be those 6.2-inch guns with a couple of smaller secondaries. Now, it looks like the España's guns are getting ready to open up. Oh, no, we've lost visual of the French again. Okay, we're actually going to get the destroyer to follow the España now, because most of this is going to be done, most of the fighting is going to be done by the España at medium to long range. Oh, and the España is opening up. I believe we are going to be firing on the French light cruiser. We are actually quite close to them, because they were able to get quite close to us, thanks courtesy of their smoke screen. So they are within a range of 7 kilometers and closing. Light cruisers coming in first, followed by a little destroyer that is low on fuel. Oh, and their battleship is low on fuel as well. So it looks like that thing has got a serious mixed array of secondary, tertiary, and quaternary batteries. So yep, typical French pre-dreadnought. Whereas we've got a far more uniform battery. Oh no, why is that main... Oh, did we stuff up the design and that forward turret can't rotate? Oh no! Oh, we might have to quickly go and check the España class. We might need to refit her and fix that, because that should be able to fire through there. Oh no. Oh no, she's turning around again now. Okay, we're good. It was just that particular angle it couldn't traverse. Oh, we found the range, and we hit the light cruiser very hard. She is sinking. I don't think she's going to be able to recover from that. Oh, she's fighting. Yeah, no, there we go. She's gone down. And I believe the España secondaries took her out. Yeah, battleship 6-inch hits the main belt penetration. Wow. They did not have many bulkheads on that thing, apparently. Okay, we're going to tack and re-engage the French battleship because the destroyer's over there, and we don't want it getting too close. Now we are actually just out of range of the battleship's main battery, which is quite entertaining. Alright, we are broadside to broadside with the French battleship Lille. We have begun the rain. We have found the range, so it's just a case of dialing it in now. Now the range is slowly dropping, and we are starting to land some hits on the French battleship. I say she should be landing some hits soon, but it's taking her a good while to land anything from here, even though her accuracy is good. Oh, and we got a flooding hit on the rear. We got an overpen with the main gun. Oh, we got a serious compartment hit there, though. I believe we've just taken out one of their main guns. Ironically, it's taking us this long to hit it. We might actually run out of armor-piercing rounds. We keep losing the range found bonus for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, we are going to detach the destroyer because weirdly, for whatever reason, the Espana just can't hit this French pre-dreadnought, and she's almost out of AP. This is a very disappointing opening for her. I don't know why she can't hit it. It's the size of a floating hotel. Oh, I say that and we suddenly get a decent penetrating hit, but it's still not enough. So we're going to send the destroyer in. Going to save the torpedoes until we can get well within the 3-kilometer range. Okay, the Lille seems to be struggling to maneuver easily. Oh, she's now beginning to turn. And we're going to begin to turn. Arming our torpedoes. Torpedoes are in the water. Those torpedoes look really good. That spread looks good. We're going to turn the destroyer right around. But honestly, I think these torpedoes might... Oh, one of them's definitely going to hit. Two of them are going to hit. And neither of them were duds. Those are both very good hits. Alright, we're going to get the destroyer out of range. I don't know if those hits are going to be enough to sink it. No, they are dropping her speed considerably though. The battleship Espana has actually used all of her armor piercing, which is interesting, to say the least. Interesting and disappointing. I don't know why she wasn't hitting that very well. With the range found bonus as well, they should be hitting a decent amount. Right, we're just keeping our destroyer out of range. Oh, and of course, now the Espana hits a critical. Was that with her AP? I think that was actually with a high explosive shell. But it looks like the Lille is at last finally going to sink. Or is she going to stay with 4% floatability? She is still going. What a tanky... What a tank! Funnily enough, one of the destroyer's little 5-inch guns was enough to cause flooding. That is hilarious. Okay, she's basically almost dead in the water, so we are going to go in and finish her off. Oh, no, I don't think we're going to need to. That was a main belt hit from the Espana, which I believe is going to sink her. Lille finally goes down. Wow, that took forever to bring her down. Slightly concerning start to the Espana class. If they're going to have that kind of accuracy issue with these. Maybe it was just a bit of bad luck on our part and a bit of luck on the French captain, whose luck eventually ran out, but still. Either way, that is still a victory. We sank a battleship and the light cruiser. And we have one of the Extremadura class. We have two of the Extremadura classes being attacked by a heap of French torpedo boats. Now these made a pretty good showing in the last video, in the semi-big fleet battle. I'm quite proud of my Extremadura classes, so kind of like the Mas Daka class heavy cruiser, or armored cruisers. I designed the Extremadura to have as much gun on them as possible, because we were going for technically not quality over quantity, but also not quantity, because we couldn't build a lot of ships, so we were concentrating as many guns as we could onto a single cruiser hull. And this is the result, and it seems to work quite well. The torpedo boats are actually running away. Interesting. Well, we're going to run them down. Are they out of fuel, maybe? No, they just seem to be straight up running away. Oh dear. So these light cruisers are actually fairly accurate for their age and tech. And somehow we are outrunning the torpedo boats. I don't know how. Okay, they are low on fuel. Oh, that isn't good for them. Right, Extremadura, kill. Oh dear. Yep, it doesn't take much to hurt these dinky little things. I think it was one hit from her 5.2 inches. Yep, 5.2 inch gun hit that. Oh, and we're getting to within 4 km range. What's their top range? Only 1.2k. Oh, we're perfectly safe. And there goes another one. Onto the third torpedo boat. Third victim. Or was this one actually maneuvering? No, they are just straight up running away and we're just chasing them down. So, this was apparently meant to be an ambush. And it's a case of, you know, the meme, call an ambulance, but not for me. Well, we're giving our extra Majura crew some excellent target practice today with these little dinky torpedo boats, because if you can hit a torpedo boat at moderate range, you'll be able to basically hit anything else, because any other target is essentially going to be bigger than them at this point. Well, the other torpedo boats ended up running away, but we did sink 3 of them, so 3 out of 6. That was an ambush, a torpedo boat attack that failed miserably. The French did not do a good job with that, and the extra Majura, the first of her class, did the most damage. Fantastic. Well, this is a brilliant start to the war so far. Maybe I shouldn't be too worried about the French fleet after all, although I'm probably going to jinx myself. I'm honestly more concerned about the French army taking some of our colonial holdings, to be honest. I wonder if we could get... Oh, hang on, is Britain at war with Germany? When did this happen? Did I forget about this? Britain is indeed at war with Germany. Oh, somebody... So Germany is at war with Britain and America, which are currently the 2 biggest navies in the world, each fielding 143 ships. Germany, what is wrong with you? And Japan, raking up the allies. So Japan are allied with Portugal, the Ottoman Empire, Persia, Arabia, Brazil, Sweden, Romania, Denmark, and Bulgaria. Wow. I think we have a few allies as well. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're slowly collecting them. Now the question is, will the extra Majura class be good enough to deal with a armoured cruiser? Because we are coming up against the Gemap, which is a French armoured cruiser, probably a fairly early vintage. She's at 5,800 tons, and she's armed with 4 6-inch guns and 3.1-inch secondaries. Meanwhile, we have 12 5.2-inch guns, and they have got a little destroyer, and ours is probably slightly better. Yeah, our destroyer is definitely bigger, and we've obviously got transport to defend as well. Now, the one thing we will have to be a little bit careful with the Sirena is, yes, she does have a lot of guns, but she is lightly armored. She's only got a 3-inch main belt. So if the enemy armored cruiser does land some armor-piercing hits on her, it could do a significant amount of damage. Okay, there's the enemy destroyer. Oh, 6 torpedo tubes. Wow. Okay. A small but very punchy little destroyer that has popped its smoke, understandably so. Oh, and they are opening up with their armored cruiser somewhere. Our ships are firing on it, but we don't see it. That's interesting. Okay, we're going to pop smoke as well, and we're going to detach the destroyer, and we're also going to turn her torpedoes off because we're going to go and hunt. We're going to go and hunt down the heavy cruiser and see if we can leave the Sirena to deal with the French destroyer. Am I taking a risk splitting my force like this? Yes, but it's okay because I believe the French have done the same. That's got to be the... Click on it, damn it. Okay, yeah, so that is a very ugly armored cruiser. My goodness. Oh, it's so French. It's so French. Right, okay, Pluton, kill it, please. It's ugly, and I wish it to be in the bottom of the Mediterranean. Monsieur, what is my purpose? You are ugly and you sink in the ocean. Mon Dieu. Okay, we're gonna get as close as I dare take us. I reckon once it gets to like this mark here, when it's within like a kilometer, I don't... Oh, are they beginning to turn? They are beginning to turn. Okay, you know what? I think... Stuff it. Fire the torpedoes, please! No, it's firing at the destroyer. Don't fire at the destroyer. Fire at the... Oh no, now it's flooding. Fire the torpedoes, please, 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 please. Oh, they're all going to miss, aren't they? Okay, the light cruiser has caused flooding on the destroyer, at least. Yeah, those torpedoes missed. Deeply unfortunate. We're going to pull her back. Right back, in fact, for the time being. We're going to have to pull the Sirena away. Right, we're going to get within pistol shot this time. If we can help. If we can, that is. We might be sacrificing our destroyer to do this. Alright, let's give the torpedoes a try. Oh, I think they're going to miss anyway. Unfortunate. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, no, they're definitely going to miss. I wonder if it's worth risking a torpedo. Oh, maybe are they going to miss? Oh, it was a dud! No! Oh, brilliant, accurate. Ah, bad luck. Is it worth risking a torpedo run with the light cruiser? Because the destroyer is now out of torpedoes, so we're going to have to get her to retreat. I don't know if it's actually worth it, because she might have the range on us. Oh, she just sank due to extensive fire. We just flamethrowered her to death. You know what? I'll take it. I will take that. That's brilliant. We put so many shells on her that she just sank from that. Well, that was a semi-unexpected victory, so we'll take that. Brilliant. Okay, the British, the Germans, the Soviets, and the Japanese all approve of the war. And Germany really approves of the war. Oh, and the Soviet Union and Austria-Hungary have gone to war as well. That's good. And the Soviet Union and Japan have gone to war as well. Wow, everything's going off. Oh, and we have the option to ambush one of the Austro-Hungarian battleships, the Heinrich. An older pre-Dreadnought, it would appear, fielding 9.4-inch guns, and I believe we've got the Guantanamo class. Okay, we're going to split this into 2 different units, and the battleship has been spotted to the east, so that's where we're going to go. Right, what we are going to do is get both of the pairs of destroyers to hold fire on their torpedoes until we can get as close as possible. Now, they do have a 3-kilometer range, which helps things. Okay, battleship is beginning to turn away, which is good. They're going to present a wonderful target in a minute. Alright, we need to get the destroyer flotilla to turn a little bit. And we're going to take in between 2 torpedo strikes. Alright, their torpedoes are in the water. That's going to force the battleship to turn. And we're going to set these torpedoes to fire as well. One of the torpedoes was a dud. Our torpedoes are also in the water. We're going to turn out of the path of our own torpedoes just to be safe. Some of those torpedoes look very good. Apparently that rear destroyer didn't fire its torpedoes though. It might in a moment. Oh, one of those torpedoes looks good. It was a dud, damn it. Oh, we might get lucky with these 2 though. I don't think the Heinrich is going to be able to turn in time. Oh yes, that looks good. That looks very good. Please don't be a dud. Please don't be a dud. Please don't be a dud. Oh, it was not a dud. Dead center amidships. And that has caused all kinds of trouble. Oh, and we have more torpedoes in the water. Although I think they're going to miss because the Heinrich is slowing down. Oh, no, we might get lucky. Oh, we might get very lucky. Oh, and it was a frontal hit, causing even more flooding. Oh, one of our destroyers hasn't actually fired all of its torpedoes, so we're going to send these guys in. Have these guys rearmed yet? No. Okay, they're just going to pop smoke. Oh, this could be catastrophic for the Heinrich if we get a torpedo that isn't actually a dud for a change. Although, I think they could all miss just on the fact that she's slowing down. Oh, they're all going to miss. Are they all going to miss? Please turn into that last one. Oh, no, she missed. They all missed. Okay, we're going to put them onto save mode so that they only fire when there is a high probability of them hitting. Torpedoes are in the water from the Nelon, and the Pluton has also fired. The Heinrich is beginning to turn to evade, but it looks like... Oh, it looks like these torpedoes might miss as well. Although, no, we are definitely in luck. They were both duds. Are you kidding? Oh. And those torpedoes are going to miss as well. Are we out of torpedoes? We've got 1 destroyer left with torpedoes to spare. Alright, we're going to disengage those destroyers. They're just going to leave. Do they have smoke they can pop? Not yet. Heinrich is just limping along. Alright, we're going to take manual control of this final destroyer. This one can just go that way and kind of act as a bit of a distraction. Wait, this thing doesn't have torpedoes itself, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, we're closing the range. Less than 1 kilometer now. These cannot miss. Indeed, they are not. Oh, two major flooding hits, and that is definitely going to send the Heinrich down to the bottom of the Mediterranean. Yep, down she goes. Whew. Yep, if in doubt, take manual control of your destroyers. Oh, and France has gone to war with Austria-Hungary as well. That's quite funny. Clearly, there was a breakdown of communication between the two countries, and just everyone is at war with everyone. World War I is essentially kicking off early, and the alliances are very strange. Very strange. Like, we've got Spain at war with France and Austria-Hungary, but friendly with Germany and Russia. Soviet Union at war with America, Austria, or nearly at war with America, but at war with Austria-Hungary and Japan, but allied with China and friendly with a bunch of other nations. China's at war with Germany, but not with Japan, and is about to be potentially at war with us if we're not careful. Austria-Hungary is at war with Spain, France, and Russia. Italy is at war with France and America. Germany is at war with Britain, America, China, and soon to be Austria-Hungary. France is at war with us, Italy, Austria-Hungary, oh my god, yeah, it's just a hot mess. Germany wants to be an ally, but it's going to cost almost all of our money, so we're going to have to sadly turn her down. And Britain is now at war with Italy as well. And France is at war with Japan. It's just escalating. And Japan and China. And we have a fleet battle. Okay, so we have got a fairly large encounter against the French. We've got the España class against the Liberty, which might be the lead of her class. No, I think she's a Lille class, which is one of those ugly looking pre-dreadnoughts. So we've got the España again, also joined by another one of her class, and she's also joined by the Santissima Trinidad of the Invincible class with the 12 10-inch guns. So you've got a couple of 12-inch dreadnoughts and a 10-inch dreadnought, a couple of Extremadura class light cruisers, and some Guantanamo destroyers as a screen, against 3 French pre-dreadnoughts, a light cruiser, a destroyer, and 2 torpedo boats. This should be fairly interesting, and I'm really hoping that the España class has better accuracy this time. Strangely, the Santissima Trinidad, which is bobbing away nicely, my goodness, there's going to be some very seasick people on that boat. There we go. Funnily enough, the Santissima is the lead of this, which is fine. We can have the 2 dreadnoughts behind. And we've got the light cruisers scouting, and the destroyers are acting essentially as our screen. We're actually going to get them to match the speed of the battleships for the time being. And the enemy has been spotted to the northeast, so we're going to turn the battle line to the northeast. Oh, and we have spotted the French fleet at last. And once again, they are low on fuel. Wow, the logistics of the enemy fleets. I'm wondering if that might be a potential bug, because I do not remember fleets always appearing so low on fuel. Right, well, this time we are going to get stuck right into it. Whilst the battleships open up with their main guns, we are going to go in with the destroyers to cause some havoc. The battleships are opening up with their big guns on the torpedo boat, which they shouldn't be. I want them to target the French battleships, thank you very much. Okay, they seem to be redirecting their fire now, which is nice. It looks like the French torpedo boat has realized its error and is running away. Oh, and their torpedo boat just lost its battle bridge, courtesy of our destroyers. We're going to have the lead destroyer fire its torpedoes, because the torpedo boat is directly in our way right now, which is very annoying. Oh, okay, we're starting to take damage on the destroyers. We're going to pop our smoke. Oh, yeah, the Kometo has taken a very nasty hit. She's actually got engine damage, which is not ideal at all. Going to set them to go safe. See if they target the battleships. Please target the battleships and not the... Yes! Alright, we now need to pull them out of there because we might have just wasted a bunch of destroyers. The battleships are... no, they're not turning. It looks like 3 are going to be going for the... Gallois? Or something like that. Oh, all 3 hit! Or was one a dud? I think one might have been a dud, but 2 of them definitely hit. Oh, and there's more torpedoes in the water. Fantastic. Oh, I think they might miss, though. Or one might just sneak in. No, no, no. No, they're all going to miss. Still. Good opening salvo from the torpedoes. The Extremaduras are destroying the torpedo boat Flamberge. Good, that's what we like to see. Has the Santissima found the range yet? On the Liberté. She is beginning to find the range. Right, I'm gonna... That one, the Cometa with her damaged engine. I think the torpedo... I think the destroyers might have taken too much of a beating there. Oh, the other battleships recovered quite quickly from those torpedo hits, though. Oh, they've got another torpedo boat coming in, which just took a nasty hit. Well, I'm hoping that wasn't a main gun hit from one of the battleships. No, it wasn't. It was the one of the Extremaduras hit her quite hard, actually. Now, all of these battleships the same class of French pre-Dreadnought? Yes, they are. They all have the horrendous mix of secondary, tertiaries, and quaternary batteries. All right, we're gonna run a risk with these destroyers, except for you. We're gonna detach you, and in fact, we're gonna get you to retreat. You're too slow. Okay, we're gonna try and get these around the back of the battleships if we can. I don't want to get too close. I reckon that's close enough, actually. I'm really hoping the destroyers go for the battleship and not the Cyclone. Alright, we're going to send the Pluton in first. Oh, and the Liberté just took a hit that has caused penetration. Okay, we're going to switch her torpedoes to aggressive now because she just isn't firing. There we go. Oh, they look like they're on their way to hit battleship number 2, whose name I can't pronounce. Oh, and all 3 of those hit. She's got to go down from that, surely. Oh, and the lead, the Liberté, has taken a penetrating hit as well. Oh, yeah, the Gaulois, I believe. I honestly am not good at the whole French thing. Alright, the Nalon's torpedoes are out. Alright, they are all out of torpedoes, so we're going to set them to leave the fight. Oh, and she is fired on the Liberté. I believe the Gaulois, she might be sinking. Yeah, she's down to 12, 11, 10% floatability and dropping. Oh, this torpedo spread looks amazing. Oh, I think the tail ones might miss. The leading pair are definitely going to hit home on the Liberté, though. Oh, look at them go. Look at them go. Oh, all 4 might hit. Oh, no, one blew up early. Oh, we got 2 hits. Oh, and we caused a massive ammunition explosion of the magazine. Oh, the Liberté might go down from that. That was brutally painful. Oh, no. Nalon, no. No, you did such a good job, Nalon. Oh, it was a dud. Okay, we're safe. Oh, the torpedoes have been causing absolute chaos in the French lines. The Liberté has gone down first after suffering a catastrophic detonation of her magazine. The Gaulois is still up. She's managed to control her flooding. The battle line is now focusing hard on her. Oh, their torpedo boats and destroyers are trying to be cheeky here. They only have 1 or 1.5 kilometer torp range though, so we're just staying out of range. Oh, and I believe we're starting to get some main belt hits on the Gaulois. Oh, yeah, overpen and flooding. She is definitely going to sink from that. Yep, and down she goes. We're causing some pretty substantial losses to the French fleet already in the opening stages of this war. And the torpedo boat and the destroyer both went down within moments of each other. Well, the other battleship ended up leaving the scene. I don't blame it, honestly, and that is a decisive victory for the Spanish fleet once again, and a brilliant outing this time for both the Santissima Trinidad, her first outing, another outing for the España, and the first for the Conde de Regla as well. Now, who did the most damage there? Well, the torpedo boat, the destroyers, funnily enough. What did the battleships manage, though? So the España got some hits in. The Santissima Trinidad did as well. Okay, so the battleships didn't actually do too much in that engagement. It was mostly the destroyers. And one of the light cruisers got a couple of good hits in as well. Alright, it is January 1909, the last year of my tenure, and it is now time to build what is going to be my legacy. My flagship, my baby, the pride of the Spanish fleet for when Monroe takes over. It's going to be a new class of dreadnought, one that is going to eclipse the Reina, Victoria, Eugenia class. I can't even remember how the name is pronounced now, but it's going to be a better battleship, basically. So, to the dock. Now, those of you that know me know that I'm a little bit extra as a person. I like to be a bit crazy sometimes. Not really. I'm just strangely and socially awkward. But what we are going to do today is we are going to design a battleship that is going to punch far ahead of its own weight. And we're doing this because I only want one of these to be built. She's going to be the only of her class, and she's going to be rather special. And considering it's 1909, we're going to make her quite punchy for the age that she is in as well. So around this time, most nations are fielding, 12 or 12.5 inches. We are going to be fielding 13.5 inches, and we're going to be fielding a lot of them. Now we're going to be going for a 21 knot top speed, the biggest displacement we can manage, which is 25,305. Going to make it slightly beamier, so that we can fit a couple of extra secondaries on top if we need. We're going to go for the turbine engines. We'll see if we need to do induced boilers or not. We're going to go for hydraulic, rudder, grip armor. We're going to go with only anti-torp 1 and anti-flood 1 to begin with, because I want to see what the weight is going to start looking like. And we're going to go with 14 inches of main belt armor, 6 fore and aft, 4 main deck, 2.5 fore and aft, and 1 inch on the superstructure and 1 inch on the inner citadel. Now that is a lot of armor, because there's only going to be one of her. We need to look after our baby. We're going to have a radio on this one as well to improve the gun aiming speed and the communications range. That is obviously going to add more weight. She's probably not going to have the biggest range because of this. Dinky little rear tower, and we are going to have I believe the advanced funnel was one of the smallest. No, I think it's the large funnel one, although the tall funnel is more than double the capacity actually. Oh, look at that. Engine efficiency, 170%. Okay. We might be able to dial up the maximum speed, depending on what happens here. Now, we need medium superimposed barbette on here. 13-inch guns. And then we are immediately going to up the caliber to 13.5 inch. And people are wondering what's going to be so special about my Dreadnought. I experimented with this earlier and built it, and it worked. And I think it's because we've gone to Mark 3-inch guns. I think they're slightly bigger. Okay, so I figured it out. We can't do it at 13.5 inches. We have to use 13-inch guns. But still, we have got 10 13-inch guns on our hull. Now, we don't have a lot of weight left over to spare, but there should be enough tonnage left over to stick some 6-inch casemates in her. Yes. Now, we do have a bit of an issue with... Oh, hang on. Starboard weight offset? Why? Oh, I accidentally turned off mirroring. That's why. Okay, that pretty much sticks her in at 100% capacity. Now, we do have a bit of a fore weight offset. Now, we could get around that by tweaking the thickness of the armor belts, but honestly, I think we might leave it as it is. I think the accuracy is acceptable. We'll stick a couple of 3... No, the range is up to 5 kilometers now. That's right, we just got the torpedo upgrade. So this thing has got 5 kilometer range torpedoes. Gonna go for standard shells, soft cap. Okay, that does put us overweight. Damn it. Right. If we drop the range, that frees up almost 1,000 tons, so we're going to have to do that. I'm also thinking about going for enhanced reloading and advanced hydraulic turrets. Yep, we can afford to do that with the weight as well. She's not the most exciting battleship. Like, she isn't something that's completely revolutionary, sort of like how the Fleet of Oceans class was a dreadnought before we even had dreadnoughts, but she's pretty much the best we can do in terms of putting as many shells with as much firepower downrange as possible. I don't think anything else is going to have 10 13-inch guns before the mid-1900s, so this thing is going to punch well above its weight class for a while, I think. And I was thinking about naming it the Flying T-Rex class, literally after my name, but I decided, that doesn't really suit a ship. The Flying Dutchman suits a ship, but this doesn't. So instead we are calling her the Deus Rex Machina. Yes, it is a horrible punny joke, and it is my kind of humor. So the Deus Rex Machina, a design from 1909, 10 13-inch guns, a heap of 6-inch secondaries, 14 inches of main belt, 6-inch fore and aft, 4-inch main deck, 5 kilometer range torpedoes, amidships. I don't think we... Oh, we might actually have enough... Do we have enough to stick an aft torpedo? Oh, if we stick a fore torpedo, that really screws the weight offset, but we'll stick an aft torpedo. just to be safe. There we go. So 3 torpedo tubes, a heap of armor, 13-inch guns. I think the Deus Rex is going to do really, really well. Now the question is, do we have the dockyard space to build the Deus Rex Machina yet? How many are we building? 1 battleship. Oh, we're repairing a lot though, so our dockyards might be tied up. Yes, we might need to wait a turn before we get her in the water. Ah yes, all of our worst fears are coming true. The French are invading all through Africa. What about South America? Oh, and South America as well. Yeah, they're just going for our colonial holdings. And they're going for the Italians. Oh, well, Africa is... most of the war is being fought in Africa at the moment, although the Austro-Hungarians are punching deep into Russia. Right, before we hand things over to Monroe, we're going to very quickly refit the España, and instantly the accuracy goes right up with those Mark III 12-inch guns. So just straight away, that's going to make a huge difference. We don't have a better rangefinder yet, but we are going to go for the TNT bursting charge, and we're going to go for Krupp 2 armor, because that gives us a bit more space, and we can up the main deck and fore and aft deck that way as well. Now, I'm wondering if increasing the gun barrel length does much. No, it actually makes it worse on average. Doesn't always improve things. Now that we've got an extra bit of weight, we might add a couple of extra secondaries on here as well, just to increase the class's lethality against light cruisers. Yeah, there we go. That's not too bad. I mean, it makes them a little bit more expensive, but we're trying to make it so that they are as good as they can be. Honestly, the big thing that's going to help is better rangefinders and things like that in the future. But for now, that's enough of a little refit for the España class. We increased the secondary armament a wee bit, and the Mark III guns are definitely more accurate. Oh, and just in the nick of time, France is asking us to sign a peace treaty, even though they're invading us. And you know what, honestly, I'll take it, because I really don't want to risk the invasion. Although we do have... we'll delay that fight if we can, because I want to see if the peace treaty goes through. Oh, and we have the option to take Madeira. How much tonnage do we need? 9,800. We'll deploy the fleet from Cadiz. We can either get reparations, or we can get some more territory. And we can take the Marquesas Islands, we can take Réunion, the Comoros, or Laos. We'll take Laos and some money. I do not remember declaring war on the United States. I think that has happened just due to bad influences. Oh no, we're at war with Italy as well. Oh, we leave one war and we go straight into another. This is insane. Okay, so we're no longer at war with France, which is good because they're not invading us anymore. We've gotten Laos, of which I forgot is in a French sandwich right now, so we might need to go back to war with France to expand that potentially. We're at war with America and Italy again, which is not ideal. Oh, for God's sake, and we're at war with China as well. And our transports are being attacked. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so we're at war with... no, we're not building battleships for other nations. We need them for us. Okay, we're at war with Austria-Hungary, America, Italy, China. That could be a bit of a problem. But hey, at least we got control of Madeira. Now we have to deal with the American fleet again, and I'm somewhat suspicious that they've only gotten bigger. Yeah, 160 ships. Well, yeah. I mean, at least Italy, Austria-Hungary, and China don't have a huge amount. China doesn't even have battleships. But dealing with America could be a problem. But that is not my problem. That will be Brother Monroe's problem, because it is January 1910. We just had an election in Spain. The nationalists regained control. Britain offers an alliance. I'm going to say no, just because I don't know if Brother Monroe would want me to spend the money or not. Britain declared war on Austria-Hungary. Okay, I have to fight. I auto-resolved it just because I didn't want to do anything in what is technically Brother Monroe's turn. Oh my god, so many pop-ups. Okay, it is January 1910. Spain finds herself still at war with 4 different countries at once. Oh boy. But the fleet is in a relatively good position. We don't have many ships, but they are all high quality. We've got Dreadnoughts. We have Dreadnoughts building. We have my flagship building. The first of the Masdaka get completed next month. The last of the Victoria Eugenia class gets finished in 4 months, and the Deus Rex Machina is due to be completed in October of 1910 in Cadiz. What a decade. We did a lot. We went to war with Austro-Hungary twice. We went to war with France once. We're going to war with America again a second time. We've built some interesting ships. We've lost some interesting ships owing to either scrapping or the Chinese sinking them. And overall, this has been a blast. And this isn't the end of my tenure. I will be returning in 1930, if the campaign is still up and running at that point, to do some stuff with 1930s shipping. And that is going to be a completely different ballgame to what I've been doing here, because we're going to have things like radar, torpedoes with insane range, 17, 18, 19-inch caliber guns, and probably a lot more chaos and a lot more money to be spent. So hopefully we don't bankrupt Spain. But that is my tenure as the first Tier Lord done. I'm going to hand over to Brother Munro, and I'll be watching eagerly to see how he deals with this 4-way war. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Building. We have my flagship building. The first of the Masdaka get completed next month. The last of the Victoria Eugenia class gets finished in 4 months, and the Deus Rex Machina is due to be completed in October of 1910 in Cadiz. What a decade. We did a lot. We went to war with Austro-Hungary twice. We went to war with France once. We're going to war with America again a second time. We've built some interesting ships. We've lost some interesting ships owing to either scrapping or the Chinese sinking them. And overall, this has been a blast. And this isn't the end of my tenure. I will be returning in 1930, if the campaign is still up and running at that point, to do some stuff with 1930s shipping. And that is going to be a completely different ballgame to what I've been doing here, because we're going to have things like radar, torpedoes with insane range, 17, 18, 19-inch caliber guns, and probably a lot more chaos and a lot more money to be spent. So hopefully we don't bankrupt Spain. But that is my tenure as the first Tier Lord done. I'm going to hand over to Brother Munro, and I'll be watching eagerly to see how he deals with this 4-way war.